So, Arman Tsarukyan came out, who is likely the next opponent for Islam Makachev, and gave some high praise to Khabib, with a shot that people shouldn't compare Islam to him. We're going to talk a little about this and then break down if Arman is the one to dethrone Islam now. So, is Khabib unbeatable? Khabib has the best grappling at lightweight. You can't submit him. Best cardio. It looks like he can't be knocked out that easy. I mean, he took shots from Conor McGregor, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier. You'd have to be lucky to take him out. His striking was good enough to keep you honest also. Who could have dethroned him? Well, there's Tony Ferguson, who has amazing cardio, did have great takedown defense, and also didn't mind getting taken down and would look for submissions on bottom. He could match Khabib in the cardio department and stay in his face. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, Tony, great takedown defense, submissions, but really, look at Ferguson versus Gleison Tibau, Josh Thompson, Abel Trujillo, who took down Khabib. He used to have slick grappling before his body completely fell apart and he stopped training at gyms, which is a crazy sentence, but that's Tony Ferguson for you. I'm talking when this fight was first getting made in 2015. That would have been Tony's best chance to beat Khabib. Tony was at his peak, pre-knee injury, before the crazy wars, early 30s. Khabib never had the best striking at the time, and not a whole bunch of experience. Every year after 2015, their chances got lower and lower, to eventually zero. But it was there at the time. Next, I have to throw Gregor Gillespie in the hat. Now, Gregor just stopped fighting. He kept holding out for someone who was ranked above him, even when his rankings got removed, to the point now he's too old to have another run at it. And I think he's a guy who only wants titles. I don't know what he does, but he doesn't seem to be hurting for money. But Gregor has some of the best wrestling credentials in the UFC. Wrestling guys could tell you more, but at his time in amateur wrestling, he had the most wins out of everyone in tough brackets. That included a win over Michael Chandler. I believe he only ever lost to people that are considered like the GOATs of wrestling. He wasn't Olympic level, but in folk style wrestling, he was top level. This is a guy that would have had a real chance. His only loss was a head kick to Kevin Lee. And I'd recommend looking at his last win against Diego Ferreira. Diego's a real good fighter and a grappler who recently knocked out Michael Johnson. Gregor just ran through him and grinded him out. This was a Gregor who hadn't fought in 2 years, by the way, coming off a KO loss. It sucks that we never got to see that, or even Gregor versus Makachev. It is what it is. I'd give him a better chance than Tony, but these are the only two guys I'd think of. Everyone else, I just can't see it. Now, it's inferred from this, Islam Makachev is a worse Khabib in a sense. I'd say Makachev has a way less safe style than Khabib. He stays on the feet way longer, chases submissions instead of mauling. He also doesn't seem to have the takedown ability of Khabib. Unless Poirier leveled up his takedown defense, training with Mateus Gamrot. Another note is Khabib only fought in Abu Dhabi after McGregor. He even said in some press conference that he said to Justin Gaethje in the cage, is the climate getting to you? As if you don't train in Abu Dhabi for months, it's insanely hot there and hard to breathe at times. So Islam Makachev is fighting the better versions of these guys, arguably. I'd say that's a balanced view of things. I'd place Khabib above Islam Makachev, but I do have some questions on if that's the right thing to do. I think undeniably Makachev is building a better resume now though, especially with a win over Arman. Now, Arman Tsarukyan versus Islam Makachev. I'll do a more detailed breakdown closer to the fight, but the first fight was really close. Arman could hang with him in the grappling despite Islam's higher experience there. Has Arman leveled up enough to surpass Islam? He did hang in the striking with Charles Oliveira and KO'd Beneil Dariush. TKO over Joaquim Silva. I think he could bring a better fight and possibly mix some stuff on the feet. But if Arman can't use his grappling to beat Islam, I think Islam is the more well coordinated and balanced striker, so I can't see him winning. Maybe he catches Makachev with a big shot, but Makachev's got a good chin, so I'd give Arman a puncher's chance right now. Anyway, I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comments. I love reading them. Tell me if you think Khabib is unbeatable, if Khabib is better than Makachev, what you think happens with Makachev versus Arman Tsarukyan. I want this to be a good place for MMA fans to voice their opinions and have discussions with each other. Anyway, that's it.